Good evening and thank you for joining me on Black News Tonight. I'm Marc Lamont Hill. An update to a story we've been following on BNT. Pamela Moses, the black woman from Memphis who was convicted of trying to register to vote illegally, has been sentenced. She is set to spend 6 years and 1 day in prison. In 2015, the 44-year-old activist pleaded guilty to perjury and tampering with evidence after allegations that she stalked and harassed a local judge. The tampering with evidence charge caused her to lose her voting rights in Tennessee. She didn't realize until election officials told her she couldn't be put on the ballot as a mayoral candidate in 2019 because she had a felony. She'd had a probation officer file paperwork on her behalf stating that her probation had ended, but that officer allegedly made a mistake and she was still on probation at the time. Moses is expected to appeal the sentence. Jason Van Dyke, the Chicago officer who shot and killed Laquan McDonald in 2014, is now a free man. The former officer was released early this morning after serving less than half of his nearly 7-year sentence. Officials say good behavior contributed to his early release. In 2018, Van Dyke was convicted of killing McDonald. He was responding to a call about someone breaking into cars when he spotted McDonald walking down the street with a knife. Van Dyke shot McDonald 16 times. Many of the bullets hitting the teen while he was already on the ground. Community leaders are outraged, saying the time he served does not reflect his crime. USA Swimming has announced a new policy of eligibility for trans women athletes. The policy requires trans women to keep low testosterone levels for 36 continuous months before applying to compete. Athletes must also provide evidence that going through puberty as their sex assigned at birth does not give them an advantage over cisgender female competitors. USA Swimming intends to keep these rules in place until a policy is released by the swimming's world governing body, Fédération Internationale de Natation. This news comes as the Beijing 2020 Winter Olympics start tomorrow. Sex trafficking continues to be a major problem around the world and in the United States, but it regularly goes unnoticed. A recent alleged abduction of a high-profile name can help bring much-needed attention on this modern-day enslavement of women and girls. The famous actress Tisha Campbell alleges sex traffickers attempted to abduct her last week. According to the Los Angeles Times, the actor has filed a report with the South Padre Island Police in Texas, where the alleged incident took place. In an Instagram video, she recently detailed the sex trafficking scare. She said when she called a taxi in front of her hotel, instead, a van arrived. 2 men inside told her repeatedly to get in the car, as well as another one who got out of the van. And after further verbal altercation, she went back into her hotel. With me now is trafficking expert and activist Toni D. Rivera. She is also the founder and CEO of ROSE organization, which stands for Restore, Overcome Sexual Exploitation. And she is also the person whom Tisha Campbell credits for helping her prepare for the kind of traumatizing moment like the alleged incident that took place last week. Toni, thank you so much for joining me on Black News Tonight. Since Tisha Campbell shared her incident on IG, oh, it's my pleasure. Some people called her Tisha Smollett, alluding to Jussie Smollett. We don't know exactly what happened to Tisha Campbell, but why is it that many people are struggling to believe her when she comes out to share this awful experience that happened to her?
But first and foremost, like I said, I want to thank you guys for having me and allowing me to spread the word about sex and human trafficking. Um, the reason being that I think people are saying that it's not true is because a lot of people, as far as the Black community, don't believe that sex and human trafficking happens in our communities. Um, Me, myself, I've been in Tisha's shoes where people didn't believe my story until I started doing interviews, and it just so happened that counterpart investigator, her name is Detective Cleveland, um, who actually vouched for me and did lives with me. She was doing a lot of interviews on my Instagram page about this, and we were telling people that you don't understand how this happens in the Black community so much, and it was so many people that didn't even know about it, And as far as with Tisha, I think it is hitting home, but a lot of people, I think she scared a lot of people by telling what happened to her. And I think a lot of people are just like, how could it happen to her? And she's famous. But what people don't know is I've rescued, literally rescued, um, a few celebrities' kids out of this lifestyle.
Wow, that's scary to know that this is happening. Now you say lifestyle. What do you mean when you say lifestyle? Because sex trafficking is obviously something that happens to people. They are victims of it. They don't choose to be trafficked. But how does someone enter that space? How does this happen?
This space, the lifestyle of sex and human trafficking, anyone can easily get into. You yourself is I tell people when I educate task force and talk to people at schools or what have you, I let them know this is the one job you do not have to go to for an interview. This is the one job you don't ask how much you're getting paid. This is the one job you get hired for if they see you and they want you. Um, this life is very easy to get into, especially now with social media. With social media, it's I say 75% of my rescues have been from 2020 to now. It's been crazy because these kids on social media and not knowing who they're talking to, going to meet people who they don't know. I've had so many parents reach out to me and tell me how their children are conversating with people online thinking that they're children or someone their age, and lo and behold, they're going to meet these people or this person, and it's an adult. Um, it just happened 2 years ago, here in LA, where a young lady was online. She met someone and he had a profile up of a 14-year-old. She was 14. He told her his mom was dropping him off at the mall and for her to meet him there. The reason why the mall is so big on with sex trafficking and people with the meeting place, because you come in there with dressed a certain way or in certain clothes, but you're not leaving out this with the same clothes. 9 times out of 10, they've bought a whole outfit in shoes with sunglasses and a hat. So when you leave out of that mall, they'll never find you because you left out with something different than you came in with.
Wow, that's very very scary. Um, you yourself are a sex trafficking survivor. When uh, this kind of stuff happens, I think people don't appreciate how prevalent it is. Can you talk to me about just how prevalent this industry is, this illegal industry is?
Sex trafficking is $1 billion industry, number one. Number two, is ran just like any organization, any legit organization. Sex trafficking is ran like that. Um, to go back to this conversation of her being snatched or attempted to be snatched. Um, what people don't understand when it comes to sex trafficking, you already have like the naysayers. This incident that happened last week, I have a total of 3 girls at this point that are supposed to go to court. They're not going because they're scared that they're not going to be believed. Sex trafficking, people always say, "Oh well, January is the month for it." No, it has its shopping seasons. Every month is a shopping season, but you have certain months of the year that are very big shopping seasons. Right now, with the Super Bowl coming up, this is a very big shopping season. Huge.
And the idea, I mean, you say the Super Bowl time is like hunting season for these predators. Uh, what is it about the Super Bowl in particular, this time of year, this sporting event, that makes people so compelled to, to, to
This
engage in this
time of
illegal
year,
activity?
with this time of year with sex trafficking is, with shopping season being the Super Bowl time. Um, you have parties. With having parties, you having people coming from all over the country. Um, Not only that, but most of the time when the gorilla pimp or whoever have you, the sneaker pimp, loot the person, usually you're a debt payment. You become a debt payment. The debt payment consists if you lose the game by a certain amount of um, points, you wind up sleeping with that amount of men to pay that payment back. Um, this is the time where it's just not about sex trafficking. They don't. They're not just considering sex. You have these kids that are being used for trafficking guns, trafficking drugs. So it's just not about sex. But around this time, everybody is trying to get to the Super Bowl. Law enforcement really don't have too much time on their hands to get out to do whatever to do.
Wow.
And
You know,
I commend
Tony,
law
hang with me,
enforcement
Tony,
because
one
with
second.
me,
I want to take a Tony, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you. I just want to take a quick break. I want to make sure we hear your full thought on this. So stay right here. Everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more conversation. Welcome back to Black News Tonight. We continue our discussion around the very important topic of sex trafficking. And back with me is trafficking expert and activist Toni D. Rivera. Again, she's also the founder and CEO of ROSE Organization, which stands for Restore, Overcome Sexual Exploitation. Toni, let's continue because you're a tirelessly dedicated activist. How did you manage to rescue more than 2,500 trafficked individuals across America?
right now, to that changed at 4,597. I keep up with
Wow.
everyone who I rescue. I write their names down. I try my best to keep in touch with most of the parents if they allow me to. Um, how I became this modern day Harriet Tubman that they call me. Um, Something happened with my daughter in New York. Someone snatch her from out of my arms on the train in New York, number 6 train at 125th Street. Mind you, I had a great paying job, um, multiple medical jobs, professional, and it was just, I felt as though God was using me as a vessel to share my story, bring kids home, and just to know that a lot of people think that it doesn't happen to Black people, Black kids, Black youth, um, just Black people in general. I wanted to be the one to say, hey, it does. It happens. It happens all the time. We are 75% of the missing when it comes to this world. 75%. And it's because no one wants to talk about it.
75%. I mean, that number
Yeah.
75% is so staggering to me. Talk to me about why Black women and girls are so overrepresented among human trafficking victims.
No one's paying attention. No one's
Hmm.
surroundings. No one's to their surroundings or anything. No one's asking questions. Um, People just don't want, like, they don't want to sit down and learn about it. It's a topic that is very scary. A lot of people don't even want to discuss it. I do a live probably once a week with it's myself and investigator Cleveland, the detective who actually had a sting for me. She's on a sting to have me arrested years ago. And we do once a week where we give tips, where we talk about the statistics, we take questions on, and people, we never leave that live with someone, um, I've never heard of this.
Wow. So you've made the case very beautifully, and it makes sense. if we live in a world that doesn't love black women and girls and doesn't protect black women and girls, then when they go missing, people aren't going to notice, or they're going to blame the victim, or they're going to assume that these girls are hypersexual or bad or fast, all the things that we stereotypically kind of attach to black girls and black women. So their trauma, their pain, the crimes that are happening against them simply go unnoticed. But that leads me to at least maybe the final question here, which is, what do we do? How do we better protect black women and girls? How do we raise awareness within the realities that we're stuck with, which is that we live in a white supremacist world that hates black women and girls?
Yes. The few tips that I do give, and I'm a firm believer in, is be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always keep in your mind that you don't know what people's intentions are. You don't know what people's intentions are. Be alert. Um, when you go out places, make sure you have some sort of weapon with you. If you're licensed to carry, be sure to have that with you. Um, don't park next to cars when you're at Walmart, in the stores. Park somewhere that is very light, that's very lit. Um, look around for cars that just don't seem right. If you see someone there that is watching you, you pull your phone out and you start recording. Get license plates. That usually scare them off because you're recording and they don't know if you're talking to someone. So it usually scares them off. Just be aware of your surroundings. That's my biggest thing that I tell people. Be aware. Be aware.
Be aware. Aware is important. Aware is important on the ground for the women and girls as they're navigating the world, which is a crisis in and of itself. But awareness is also the word for us. We have to be aware of what's going on. We have to pay attention to this crisis. We have to listen to voices like you who are telling us what we need to know. We have to listen to people like Tisha Campbell when they tell such a powerful and painful story. We have to be willing to listen and not look to prove her wrong or deny her truth, but instead to listen to her story, to believe her, and to use it as an opportunity to not just exhale that we still have Tisha with us, but to also exhale and find joy in the fact that we might be able to make some more progress. If you save thousands, we can save thousands more. Toni, thank you so much for all the work that you do and also for your insightful and informative comments.